Hey class, welcome back. Happy to have you here. This is history with Mr. Rugden, not writing. And I'm really excited about that. I'm ready for a break and I hope you are too. Today's episode 1, lesson 1, learning about the natural environment around the town of Chattanooga in 1859. We're going to be embarking on a special adventure where we go back in time. It's like what we call a simulation. So we're going to pretend and find out what it was like all that time ago, like 160 years. Probably way off, but that's okay. So buckle up, strap on your seatbelts, and let's go on a magical ride together back to the time of 1859 so we know what the story is all about with plot, setting, and characters. Let's go. Hey class, so welcome to episode 1. Here we are. Let's get started with our learning target. Today we're going to be identifying and evaluating which central idea in a text is most important based on evidence. So central idea. We are going to do these things. This is how we're successful. We're going to examine the natural setting of the town of Chattanooga, and I'm going to read this little section called the natural environment. If you'd rather read it on your own, that's okay. Then we're going to think about how the environment shaped the town by answering questions from the reading. So being able to say what shaped the town is really what the central idea is. So the main takeaways about what shaped the town will be the central idea. All right, so if you scroll down, you can see that if you follow those steps 1 through 4, you'll complete today's assignment. Let's get right into our reading here. The natural environment, a majestic valley, is set between a mountain range to the east and a plateau to the west. The mountains bordering the valley are sheer rock with a few scraggly trees managing to climb footholds on the side of the mountains. Winding through the valley like a fat snake is a river known for its beauty and treachery. Many have traveled the river over the centuries, aware of its shoals and reefs, gravel and sandbars, and snags and sawyers. As travelers journeyed down the river, they saw new vistas around each bend. Mountains lush with hickory, pine, oak, and poplar, and wild flowers including dragonroot, hop clover, and yellow jasmine. Wild game abounds in this setting. Bears, deer, ducks, and wild turkeys are plentiful. Many trees line on one side of the river and grow into the valley. The temperate climate and rich soil make this ideal valley for settlement. So it's an ideal valley for settlement. All right. If you need to, feel free, just like a good reader does, they go back and read something for a second time. So if you're reading on your own, you should read that a second time and make sure that you're taking notes and writing down key information, because that's what you'd use for evidence to support some of those central ideas and the one that you think is most important from this text. If you want to, you could just rewind and have me read that to you one more time. Today's vocabulary is a shoal, which is a shallow place in the river, often made from sandbars or gravel. A reef, a narrow ridge of rock or sand near the surface of the water. Sandbar, a ridge of sand formed in a river by the currents. A snag, a tree or a branch held fast in a river, often below the surface. And finally, a sawyer, a tree with one end caught in the river and the other end swaying in the current. Okay, and if we scroll down at the bottom, there's some information that explains some of the geographic regions of Tennessee where our town of Chattanooga is found. And you'll notice on the map that comes with it, Chattanooga can be found here in this little spot. You can see my mouse. Scrolling down, there's some other readings that you can look at that explain some of those geographic features that are important to us. And down at the bottom of the page, central idea questions, and you want to make sure you answer those and submit that on Schoology. All right, class, that's been another episode of History with Mr. Ruckdashel. Episode 1, Lesson 1, Setting. I hope you enjoyed it, and stick around for Episode 1, Lesson 2, 3, and 4. That should be coming up right after this. Make sure you do them in that order. Complete your assignment on Schoology, and then turn it in. We'll be seeing you soon. Like, follow, or subscribe. Peace!
24/7.